Hey guys, so as you know, those of you that have been following my videos, I felt like I was supposed to do a video every day, and I've been missing for a few weeks now. Um, I just really started questioning what God was telling me to tell you, and I was like, no, they're going to make fun of me if I say that. Things are going to happen. People are going to think that I am crazy and I'm just not ready. And then things would happen, like I wouldn't have my makeup on for several days in a row, or the kids would be wild, or just crazy things would happen, and I just didn't get it done. So I'm kind of like Jonah, probably in the belly of the whale, because I've been running from God and what he told me to do. But anyway, I was like, all right, God, if you want me to do this, what do you want me to say? You're going to have to speak through me. And he literally just said, tell them what I am doing. And that part is easy because God has been doing so much for me. You know, again, circumstances have not changed, but I have changed. And, I was just texting one of my friends a few minutes ago, and the really awesome thing is on Sunday, October 30th, three of my best friends are all being baptized at different churches at different times. But all because of this situation, they've all gotten closer to God or come to know God. And all I have done is tell them what God is doing in my life, and they've gotten to experience God in their own way, which has been really cool. So anyway, as far as tell you what God is doing, a few months ago, actually it was in November of last year, I went to a Bible study, and I took my kids with me. And so this night, Jared did not have the kids. And that was actually the first night that Jared had an affair with the neighbor. And as I'm sitting there in this Bible study, the lady teaching it, she tells the story of Tamar and how God used something that looks a lot like sin to bring the genealogy of Christ. And it saved, generations and generations, entire type things. And anyhow, so she relates that to a prophecy that she had about something that was going to happen that the world calls sin, and that hurts like sin, looks like sin, all these things. But God is going to use it to bring about the salvation of many, many generations. And when she said that, she looked at me, and I don't think she even knew that it was for me. And I immediately rejected it. But I felt at the top of my head, all the way down to my toes, this chill of, oh my goodness, that was for me. And, I left that place. I thought about it for like 5 seconds. I think I even said something to Jared about it when I got home. And then I completely dismissed it and forgot about it. Well, over about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, when I was praying for this whole situation, I was praying the prayer, Spirit of Truth, remind me of the things that you've told me that you want me to know. And when I prayed that, that prophecy came back to mind of many, many generations are going to be saved through that circumstance. And so I started praying that God would just use me. However, if that was for me and that's what's going to happen through this really bad situation, then let it be. And here I am, use me. And so that's my prayer every day. Here I am, use me. And so as time is going on, I'm not out there, preaching or doing anything like that. I've done a few Facebook videos, and I have lived my life for Christ. I've developed a relationship with him. And I'll tell you, I've always been a Christian since I was 7. I was raised in a Christian church. But I became spiritually alive a few weeks ago, and it went from religion to relationship. Always kind of had a relationship, but it's deepened so much since then. Anyway, so as I'm living my life fully devoted for Christ, which there's a difference in Christian and fully devoted follower of Christ. So as I'm living my life for Christ and just going about my day, praying for friends, speaking life into friends, friends watching me do these things just in my daily life, I had the amazing pleasure of Andrew, that was my boyfriend. He was saved after a lot of stuff happened, and it was incredible. He got to go to my parents prayed with them, and it was really neat. But that was the first. Actually, the first was the other woman, the neighbor, got saved. But anyhow, that's a long story. So she got saved, and then Andrew got saved. And then I was at the state fair, and I was praying every single day, every morning over our booth, and then writing in my journal and just seriously praying and seeking God. And this beautiful girl that works with me, a new team member, she was asking me about what I was doing, and I explained it to her. And she asked me some questions about going to church and stuff like that. And she went to my church the next 2 weeks. On the second Sunday, she was saved. And then this last Sunday, her husband was saved. And then one of my very, very best friends was sitting in my living room floor. And she has experienced life with me, which means she's experienced the breakdowns, the panic attacks, all of those horrible things that I've been through. She's been there with me, beside me, since day one. And she was sitting in my living room floor, and she's like, there's just something different about you. And I just feel this peace when I'm around you, which doesn't make sense because what I know you're going through. Just a minute, Baba. And so I start talking to her, and she just starts asking questions. And she's very much, I see you and I hear you. She's very much against God at this point. She was a proclaimed atheist. And all of a sudden she just said, you know what? I'm ready. I want what you have. And so in my living room floor at 2 a.m., she invited Christ to be her Savior. And that was the most amazing moment. But anyway, then a couple days ago, I had an old friend reach out to me that has been watching the videos and just said, you know, I see something in you, I need that. And I had the awesome privilege of praying with them. And it's amazing because now my YouVersion Bible app is like full of all these people. And this is Lane, and he loves to sing, so that's what he's trying to do right now. But so all of these amazing people are on my YouVersion Bible app doing daily devotions, and they're on their Facebook doing videos and speaking life into people. One of my friends texted me today that has become fully devoted because of this situation, and he said, you know, I got to reach out to people today and to share that life and pray with them and things like that. And these were people that were walking through life with religion, or some of them without any kind of beliefs at all, but they never had a relationship. And, you know, I think it was my dad used to say, people are going to miss heaven by about 12 inches, the difference between your head and your heart. And that is so, so sad because we're walking through life really like zombies. We're just kind of here. We're not alive. We haven't experienced the joy and the abundance that Christ gives us when we have a relationship versus religion. And you know, I've had plenty of people messaging me throughout my videos. One of them actually said the other day, you know what? I hate Christians. And I said, cool, I do too. And what I mean by that is I hate the connotation of Christianity, because we use that term so loosely that people don't really understand what it is to be a true Christian. And so I don't ever call myself a Christian. If you ask me my belief system, I will say I am a fully devoted follower of Christ. And there's a big difference in that and Christian, because America calls itself a Christian nation, but we are so far from that, it's not even funny. And so I use the analogy with them, because first they were floored that I said that, you know, I hate Christians too. But then I explained that as, okay, Christianity is such a broad term. Okay, so there's churches on every street corner, really. And there's every kind of church that you can imagine. And so I equate it to a restaurant. So there's, you know, Chinese restaurants, there's Chinese buffets, there's Chinese fast food restaurants, there's delivery only Chinese, I mean, everything. Plus then there's Mexican restaurants and there's McDonald's and all this stuff. Well, when I was like 14, my family went to Wendy's and I was served a raw hamburger. And I avoided Wendy's until I was like 27. Now, the raw hamburger incident was in Batesville, Arkansas. And it was forever ago. And it was probably a one-time, I know you're hungry, go get a snack. Sorry, I got a little one doing sign language to me. But anyway, so, you know, it was like 13 years, I'm sure that they improved their hamburgers and it was a one-time incident. But for some reason, I avoided all Wendy's from that point, and I questioned every hamburger that I ever ordered at any restaurant from that point. But what happens with churches is the same thing. People go to church one Sunday, they have a bad interaction either with the pastor, the music, or someone sitting in a pew, and then they avoid all churches. Instead of just avoiding that church or just avoiding that Christian, they think that all Christians are that way and all churches are that way, and they just stay away. But there's so many different beliefs under the term Christian that you can't group us all together. You're never going to just stop eating hamburgers because you had one raw hamburger. You're going to just avoid that restaurant, not all restaurants. You're not going to quit eating tacos. We never quit eating tacos, right? Just because you had a raw hamburger. So same thing with Christians. And so those of you that feel that way about you're avoiding church, because this is what someone else said to me. I hate sitting in church on Sunday in the pew with these people that are raising their hands and praising God, and then I go to work with those same people on Monday, and I don't want to be around those people. They're so fake. And I said, some of them may be fake, but some of us are also just real in need of a Savior. And so don't be judging the people that sit with you, but if you really did not get anything from that church, go to a different one. And you can totally just go to church online now. This is 2016, and so there is life.church. There's also Elevation Church. You can watch church on YouTube. There's all kinds of stuff that you can get involved in. But honestly, this is about relationship, not religion. And so relationship starts with your communication with God and his communication to you. And that's found in the Bible. And so another one of my friends said, well, Shannon, I don't have a Bible. And I said, that's okay. We can solve that because my church, Life.Church, has given away millions of Bibles through the Bible app. And so it's on Android and iTunes. Just go and download the YouVersion Bible app. It is free and it has all kinds of devotionals on there. You can get literally every translation of the Bible that you would ever need, different languages, all kinds of stuff on that app for free again. And so you start there and you work on your relationship. Don't worry about everyone else sitting in the pew beside you. You worry about you and God. Do not miss heaven by 12 inches, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.